guys, I walked for 40 minutes straight.
Okay.
I'm sweating like crazy. My temperature was how much?
It was 39.
39.
39.8.
So I cannot enter until it's 36?
37.
37.
Coming in, flex. I just wanna win.
What is this fuss about getting a driving license in the UAE? Let's talk about that. UAE driving license is one of the most important things in the UAE. The question here is, why is it so important that if you have a UAE driving license here, then you have an upper hand, or say your chances of getting a job here is way greater than a person who doesn't. Does this apply for everyone? No. But it does apply for majority of the people working in UAE. So UAE, the RTA, with like the RTO back in India, I'm not sure about what it is in the other countries, but they recognize the European driving license, the US driving license, and the GCC driving license. If you're an Indian, your license will not be recognized. Basically, you have to take classes. So if you do have, for example, any of these countries which are recognized, then you can directly give a theory test and then you go straight into giving a road test. UAE driving license is considered as one of the most hardest driving license to get in the entire GCC. So now, since I already have a Saudi driving license, I can directly go and apply for a driving test, which is a road test, and a theory test. Every driving institute here, for example, there's Emirates Driving School, which I have enrolled into, there's Bilasa Driving School. So you can pick whichever is convenient for you, where you're located, and all those factors that come into play, which these research has to be done by you. If you have any driving license, for example, Indian, European, GCC, whatever, international driving license, if you're here on a visit, you can rent a car and you can drive. But once you're a resident of UAE, none of this applies. You have to get a UAE driving license. So now let's talk about how much it costs. If you're giving a direct road test and a theory test, it'll cost you about, say, 2,600 or 3,000. A new beginner, and you got to go through all the classes that they suggest, then you will have to be paying around 10,000 AED. Kid you not, that's a big amount for a lot of people. Most of the driving institutes give you a certain amount of loan with zero interest, but this you have to speak to them at the place where you go to register, or you speak to your bank or figure the financial aspect out. If you do wear spectacles, you got to get a eye test done. So once you go to an RTA recognized optician, they will give you this kind of letter, and you will have to submit this. Actually, they will submit it online, but you just need to keep this with you, and this will be part of your driving license, which will be printed behind it. And if you're not wearing it while driving and you get caught by the cops, I mean, you're in big trouble. I paid about 230. It could be 100, it could be 200, it could be 150. Again, it depends on where you go and who you speak to. Today, I just went and gave my theory test at Emirates Driving Institute. They will hand you this thing when you register. These are all the signs and traffic signal rules and theory test, basically. It's called guidance chart. So all you got to do is read this. I mean, if you already have a license and you've already done this before, it shouldn't be a hard task. If you want a mock test, you can book a mock test. What you can do is you can also download this app on your phone, and you can give these mock tests again and again. This is a video of what happened to me during the theory test today, from my commute from here to the place where I went to give the test. So right now I've reached Al Quoz. Emirates Driving School is where I'm giving my test. One thing I definitely have to say, it is freaking hot. It's 41 and humid. Well, can't complain if you're in the desert. I think I did the biggest mistake. The map's a 20 minutes walk, and I'm like, oh, fit man, I can walk it. It's not a big deal. But then it turned out to be a big deal because it's actually 40 minutes. And Google screwed me over. Now, I've been walking in this heat with 40 degrees, and I fucking have no idea how long I'm gonna reach in because the map is still fucking around. Let's just look at me. I feel like a grilled chicken. What the fuck? My suggestion, guys, take a cab to your institute, especially during summer, or I 100% assure you, if you're not used to this, you're going to get a heat stroke or you're going to faint. And I am just managing to get through this. Whew. Guys, I walked for 40 minutes straight. I'm sweating like crazy. My temperature was how much?
It was 39.
39. So I cannot enter until it's 36?
37.
37.
Yes.
So he's asked me to sit in this place and just cool down for some time. My test is in exactly 20 minutes. I hope I get through this. The good news is I passed the test after all that, and I was dehydrated. Anyways, I got through that. It was a very, very hard situation. My suggestion, never do that. Never do what I did. Right now, after I finished the test, I quickly came into Emirates Mall because I am soaking wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm quickly picking up a pair of shorts and shirt from Aeropostale. I can never get that right, so I'm just trying them out, and then I'm going to head back. So in your theory test, what's going to happen is you go in there, you're going to submit all your documents to the person sitting there, the RTA officer, and he's going to go through all your documents, obviously. So it'll brief you on what you're supposed to do and how it's supposed to go. You have about 35 questions you have to answer. So this is a mixture of road signs, road marking, and traffic signal. At the end, you have situational scenarios, which are 5 questions where they show you a 5-second video and they give you 3 options and ask you what is the issue here. So you got to pick one and you have only 5 seconds, so that puts you under pressure. So I got 30 on 35 and I made about 3 mistakes in signals, but I still cleared it. Let's talk about the road test. Everyone says that the theory test is pretty easy and all that. Agreed, but you got to do a little bit of preparation before you go there. But the driving test here is actually really hard because they look at each and everything that you do. From the time you sit in the car, the way you adjust your mirror, the way you adjust your center mirror and the side mirrors, and also put on your seat belt, they start evaluating from the time you're in, adjusting your seat and everything. In case you enter the car and you don't adjust your seat, you don't put in your seat belt, or you don't check your mirrors, you have already failed. Let me tell you that, you have already failed. So these are basic things that you need to do as soon as you get into the car, and then it depends on how confident you are while driving on the road, and do you follow the rules? Are you all constantly looking onto your mirrors, on your side view mirrors? And there are times where the officer who's sitting next to you, judging you on your test, could say move on to your left lane or the right lane. So when you move on to your left or the right lane, you have to first look to your left, that's the side view mirror, and then on top, and then gradually move if there are no vehicles. So there are a lot of things that you got to keep in mind before you give a test, and that is the reason why I am taking a couple of classes here, about 2-3 classes, so that I just get used to what's happening here and then go ahead and give the final test. Most of you will be like, you already have a GCC license, why do you need to do that? Every country has a couple of differences in their way of driving. For example, Qatar, Saudi, or in UAE. So it's always better to take a couple of classes and understand how the whole structure and the scenario here is about driving, and then go on to give your driving test. Because majority of people who give the driving test here fail. Understand that they do fail. You got to pay another 1,000 dirhams or whatever the institute asks you to give a retest. And if you do fail, then you have to sit for a certain amount of classes, say 10 or 12 classes, and then come back for driving tests. So keep all this in mind before you go ahead and give your driving test or apply for your license. So I hope you guys liked the video and the information that I gave you. I'll be making many more videos like this that will help people who are new to Dubai or coming from India or somewhere else. This is for you guys because I am right now going through this process, and it will make it easier for everyone here as well. So if you did like this video and you've come so far, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.